Welcome to the stream. Legendary. Thank you very much. Oh. Alright. Let's get an act 2. A wider field of vision. Ow. Fucking hell. I should have. Sorted myself out better. Okay. It's already half past. Wait. It's already 8:30, but this morning's class has not yet begun. We're supposed to have physics, but the teacher is nowhere to be seen. Had I known this beforehand, I would have slept in too. Suddenly, the classroom door slams open and Muto grunts his morning greeting to us from the doorway. Good morning, everyone. Muto looks like he has not slept at all. The stumble, his messier than normal hair, and the stained dress shirt create a less than favorable impression. I guess he had fun last night at the festival too. Excuse my being late, I ran into unexpected problems. I'm usually not one for festivals like this, but I hope you all had a good time. After all, these sort of events are important for you all, since they give you a short reprieve from schoolwork. Damn, only one viewer. The class replies with various degrees of enthusiasm, and Muto proceeds to take roll and get started. Right then, today's subject is photon particle physics. I almost said physicist for some reason. Nani? Yeah, you're the only one here, Toast. Right now. No Reimu today. At least not yet. Before long, I have descended into a comfortable, coma-like state along with the rest of the class, letting Muto's rambling speeches pass through one ear and exit the other without leaving a trace. Is the music... How about that? Maybe, we'll try that. Felt a bit too loud. Now, who could tell us the solution to this problem? It's written a rather easy equation on the blackboard. Desperately, he tries to get the class to participate. Nobody? Come on, guys. Nakai, how about you? Unfairly singling out and cornering, I gave him an answer. It causes his shaggy features to twist into a... What? Genual smile that would scare little children senseless. My god. Precisely, good work, Nakai. I'm both disturbed and honoured by the fact that he can remember my name only 1 week after I transferred here. From what I've seen, Muto has serious trouble remembering the names of anyone else in the class, and most of them have been here since the first year. My fruit's already playing up, that's not good. The room settles into a dreary mood, students and teachers alike trying to get back on track after the festival. I figure last week must have been frantic for everyone. Not a minute too soon, the lunch bell rings. Make way, important business. Turn my head just in time to see other people scatter out of the way as someone charges from the far end of the corridor towards the stairwell. Too late to realize that I'm standing in the middle of the corridor directly in the way of the oncoming human projectile. Is it Emmy? I try to skip back towards the doorway, and unfortunately, the person running towards me dodges in the same direction. And while following, what? Fraction? What? Fraction isn't the right word, right? What the fuck does that say? What? Fraction? Fraction? That can't be fraction, right? That's not how you use the word fraction. That can't mean that, can it? Whatever. That's fraction. Well, thanks, but you're in chat, Toast. It doesn't help me with what word it's meant to be and how it's pronounced. Whatever. Of a second to several thing come to mind in sequence, yet almost simultaneously. First I recognized the girl who, Emmy, as I predicted. I hate that the music's so inconsistent in this game. Just read it in my voice. No, that doesn't help! Second, I realized that it feels somehow very natural to be tackled by Emmy once again. I could feel almost comfortable if not for the reflexive panic and terror. Third, Emmy seems to be carrying a foot-tall stack of papers while running in the hallway. She crashes into me, but at least the impact was a grazing one on my arm this time. Owie! What is that? This always happened to me. Gee, I wonder, could it possibly have anything to do with running through the corridor like you were on fire? She whimpers regretfully, looking like a hurt puppy. So it makes me regret my snappish comment the very instant it emerges from my lips. But I was in a hurry. Well, what happened? Oh, my encoder overloaded. Great. I can tell. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Emmy wails weakly one last time and rubs her forehead as if to expel the ache while her gaze sweeps over the hallway floor. As she notices her neat stack of papers spread all over the floor in one big mess, she lets out a horrified yelp. Ah! The printouts! Oh no, no. What am I gonna do? Teacher will give me hell if they get dirty. It's probably too late for that. They're probably fine. Let's gather them back up. It won't be a problem. No. I mean, maybe a disabled school, or maybe a Japanese school student. But no, those papers are dirty. School floors are always freaking dirty. They don't clean schools fucking nearly as much as they should. They clean them like once a week, if even that. We quickly round up the papers and Emmy tries to sort the scattered pile in her hands back into the orderly stack it was. Where are you going? Nowhere in particular, I guess. Didn't want to be left alone with Muto in the classroom. I think he has a hangover. Have you eaten lunch? Not yet, but I'm not feeling very hungry anyway. She looks at me incredulously, as if doubting my sanity for letting such a thing out of my mouth. You should go to the roof. I promised Rin I would eat lunch with her. I bet she'd like company. Uh-oh, What? Uh-oh, my lunches with Rin have been remarkably unsuccessful. I know where this conversation is going, and it's hard to not get drawn along, so I have little choice but to play ball. Okay, I'll go pick up some bread or something first. Emmy smiles brightly before I say anything further. No, I'll go and deliver these super quick, and then go buy lunch for us. And Rin too, of course. What kind of bread do you like? It's fine, you really don't need to. Don't worry, it's alright. Consider it an apology. I'll be back before you know it. That's what I'm worried about. Don't get into another accident. Emmy starts walking down the hall, but since she's still talking to me, she isn't watching where she's going. I won't. Famous last words. She's already jogging down the stairs as she shouts that not-so-reassuring promise back to me. Sighing quietly, I start plodding along in her wake, but instead of taking the stairs down, I climb upwards. The stairwell up to the roof is unlit and just as creepy as it was before. I wonder if the mic can pick up that my heater just turned on. The door squeaks weakly in protest as I push it open. Rin is there too, like Emmy said, lying on her back at the other end of the pebble-covered rooftop for some reason. Predicting something unnecessarily strange again, I walk to her as slowly as possible. Oh, a CG. I wish I knew how to hide the text. Surely it's possible to hide the text, right? Show image? Ah, that's how. Nice. I guess I don't need to do that anymore. I used to try to make them be full momentarily so I could use a thumbnail, but I guess I don't know. Could be the stream archive thumbnail, I guess. She sounds very drowsy. Oh, I didn't even read that she said hello. I guess it is, yeah, it actually is. It's just turned. I didn't even notice that. I guess it's not really one. I mean, I don't think this quote-unquote background is used again, although it's probably just a texture being mapped over the entire thing with a bit of light filtering in there. That's probably its own layer. She sounds very drowsy as she says that, stretching the end of the word with a slurred voice. Despite that, her eyes are wide open. Oh, hey, a shadow. I look down at her, my shadow overlapping her face. What are you doing? Rin raises an eyebrow. Thought you had a heart problem, not an eye problem. She answers, challenging the rationale of my perfectly valid question without even tilting her head to look at me. Rin's smart-ass comments are infuriating. The worst thing is that I'm not sure if she's doing it on purpose or not. Alright then, let me rephrase. Why are you lying on your back on the rooftop? She gives a lazy shrug and sniffs dismissively. I'm trying to experience. People probably don't do this enough. What? Trying to experience what? What exactly are you trying to experience here? I can't really tell, but there's probably a reason people don't do whatever. She's playing dodgeball with me again, answering my attempt at small talk with riddles I don't want to puzzle out. But I don't want to ignore her either. Yeah, but the reason is that everyone is too busy with their lives to pay attention to the really important things. Like watching the sky. She tears her gaze away from the sky and finally looks straight at me. The penetrating deepness of her eyes when she focuses on something is startling. You know, if you were a girl, I would be able to see your panties. If I was a girl, I wouldn't come this close to anyone who tried to sneak a peek at my panties. I have that much common sense. I wouldn't either, but sometimes it can't be avoided. Like now, for example. Tell you the truth, I didn't even really want to peek at your panties, though. Underpants are the soul of a girl. You shouldn't peek at someone else's soul, even if you are not a girl. Galaxy Brain Ren. Reminds me of that time you were toast. You reminds me when you were laying under that bench, and for some reason, Baronade thought it was a smart idea to say, "Yo, what if a girl sat down there and also for some reason didn't push her skirt against her legs, and then you could see her panties." Just a really weird situation I remember from SFX. And then you made the comment that someone would be a very dumb girl if they did that. You don't remember it? It was weird. It was a weird thing. It only happened once. Just one random lunch break when we weren't at the chapel for some reason. Yeah, it was weird. I always remember it for some reason. I weirdly think about that. Like, remember that moment very specifically. Underpants at the soul. Right, I read that. As a guy, I guess I can understand that. To us, there's some sort of half mystical object that we can't quite comprehend. Yeah! Yeah! It's like that, I can't remember what show it is, but the, panties are only so magical because they're unseen. And so once you see panties, they lose all their luster. It's only because they're unseen that they're such a magical object. Yeah, that's exactly how I think about them too. What a coincidence. It really is. So did you have world history in the morning class? I skipped class. To do this? Well, I'm not actually doing what it looks like I am doing, or at least I think that what I am doing doesn't look like what I want. What? Hold up. I'm not actually doing what it looks like I am doing, or at least I think that what I am doing doesn't look like what I look like, but from your perspective. Philosophy. Yep, it's true. Then there's also, I think it was Myriad Colors Phantom World that talked about Schrodinger's panties. When a girl, like, leans down, like, no, not leans, does, like, the crouch down thing, and you can kind of almost see where a panty should be, but you just quite can't. But because you're so close, you're no longer sure if she's even wearing panties at all or not. And so then you don't know. Schrodinger's panties. It's the concept, really. Exactly. It's only while they remain unseen. That's the beauty of them. Probably. Yeah, I skipped class to do this. Guess whatever your reason is, it's as good as any. Giving in to the tired feeling in my legs, I sit down on the roof next to Rin. The pebbles are not the most comfortable bed in the world, but if she can stand it, then I guess, what? Oh no, then I should be able to as well. Where did I get I guess from? What are you waiting for? Try it. Bend my knee backwards to take a look where she is looking. The silvery blue sky, dotted by herds of cloud sheep, fills my head of... What? Oh, fills my field of vision entirely. While it's pretty, the view is nothing special, even though the weather is fair. I give a shrug, trying my best to imitate the nonchalant manner which Rin seems to have evolved to perfection, and lie down on my back. Alright, that's better. The stones poke at my back from my thin shirt whenever I shift my weight even a little, forcing me to keep as still as possible. I try to ignore the discomfort and myself, instead concentrating on the vastness over us. Far above, the summer clouds drift soundlessly across the dome of the sky. Neither of us has anything more to say, thus silence covers the rooftop. The subdued noises of students on their lunch break, cicadas in the trees, and traffic buzzing past the school are humming pleasantly somewhere in the background. Listen, I had a great time yesterday. Did you? Well, to be honest, no, but it was alright. It's probably the longest time I've ever sat in one place without doing anything, which is kind of impressive. Try to make it sound as convincing as possible. Is that impressive? I think it is. I'm usually too restless to do anything like that. I think I had a good time too. Oh, hell yeah, boys. We in. Cloud passes above us, casting its shadow on the school. A chill surges through me from the sudden change of sunlight to shade. I realize that summer is not in its full bloom quite yet. The only measure of time passing is the slow pace of the clouds moving towards the town. Stray beams of golden sunlight leak through the gaps, blinding me for a moment whenever they hit me directly in the eyes. The blue of the sky looks so unreachable. This reminds me of the time I spent in the hospital, where I was where I was bored out of my mind on a daily basis. Somehow, it didn't matter after a while. I learned to appreciate other things beside watching TV and gossiping with people I don't even like. A comprehensive sensation of calmness spreads from my sight to my other senses, finally hitting my brain. An airplane zooms by, leaving two thin contrails in its wake, like a pair of chalk lines drawn from one end of the sky to the other. I wonder where it is heading. The low din of its engines carries all the way down to my ears, although it's barely audible over the racket from the quad. The quadrangle! Hell yeah! It's nice. It's nice, but I don't understand why this is more important than going to class. Isn't it good to do something you like? Every once in a while. Of course, but what are you doing? Emiya snuck up on us without even noticing, and is only a step away from me, holding several packages wrapped in plastic film in her arms. Quadrangle! Hell yeah! Oh, my back. Am I gonna see her panties? Right? Rin said I'd be able to if a girl stood there. She leans forward and peeks over me, overshadowing my face almost exactly the same way I overshadowed her before. Yeah, right? I should be... Right? Wonder how weird this looks, the two of us lying on our backs on the rooftop. That's what I asked too. I would be more concerned about what you were doing if I were you. I wouldn't come that close to people who could... Yeah. Rin? Oh, I don't get to see him? Emmy's voice is scandalized, but she quickly takes a step backwards, pressing her hands against the front of her skirt so abruptly that the parcels of bread she was carrying fall. Quickly avert my eyes and glance angrily at Rin. She pretends not to see me. Sao isn't like that, right? Well, yeah, right? I mean, Sao might not be, but I'm like that. Give me the shot, game. Emmy scowls at Rin and crouches down to pick up the packages. No CG. I need to be on the Emmy route, I guess. She wipes the dust off them and skips what? Leafily? What? I've never seen that word before in my life. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the English language. It's a made-up word. Around me to Rin's other side, where she sits herself down. Unless you want ban. Nah, panties a ban. Am I gonna be in trouble? All I know is that if I go to options, there's a disable adult content button, and I haven't clicked it, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, here's the bread. Sorry it took a while. I don't know how lewd this game gets. That's alright, thanks for treating me. I pull myself up into a sitting position and gratefully accept the bread Emmy is offering. Is the music too loud? I really don't know. It's hard to tell. Because my voice only gets up to like 25 to 15, and the music's like 30 to 25. Let's try that. All three of us ravenously dig into the simple meal. The bread is surprisingly decent and readily fills my stomach. I follow from the corner of my eyes the skill with which Rin handles her bread between her feet. Haven't seen you on the track in a few days. Oh, right. I figured it was too heavy a routine for me to start with. So you've been doing something else? I've been considering my options. She frowns but doesn't pursue the issue further, for which I'm thankful. Emmy seems pretty headstrong, and I wouldn't really want to get pestered by her about this on a daily basis. I have enough burdens to bear with Shizune and Misha already. We barely finish the lunch before the bells ring, calling us back to our classrooms. Hik-chan. I haven't talked with Misha and Shizune much this, like, obviously I've been skipping the dialogue, but even just this route, like the earlier stuff I did, I ended up going in a completely different direction and barely interacted with them. Misha waves at me as soon as I enter and starts talking before I even make my way across the classroom. The thing was, last time I tried to treat it like I was fine with Misha and Shizune being my friends, even though I didn't want to be on the Shizune route. So I was like nice to them, but to me that was like, oh, because we're friends. But I feel like the game took that as trying to put me on the Shizune route, and then I pissed them off at the end, so I died. How was your festival? Did you have fun? Still somewhat undecided on that. I'd say probably. Why? Wahaha! Just asking. Her eyes glint in a way that tell me she's not just asking. Can't even start to guess her motives though. As the well-timed entrance of the English teacher prevents us from talking further, Misha falls back to plan B. I was there all day with Shik-chan. We had a lot of fun. Weren't you supposed to be doing work? Don't worry, everything went really well. I don't reply to that, and she leaves me alone after Shizune demands her attention. My own attention, on the other hand, is directed out the windows. Now that I look at it from here, though, the windows and the foliage just outside the sky seem smaller. I catch only small glimpses of blue. Everything else is a clutter of noise right in the middle of my field of vision. Slow zoom into the window. What experience did Rin want out of staring at the sky? Surely she's done it before. Everyone has. It's no use trying to guess her mind. But if I didn't do that, then I have no excuse for not concentrating on the teacher's words. Look at the scribbles appearing on the blackboard, trying to figure out their meaning with little success. English really is not my favorite subject. We have a strong mutual dislike for each other. Thick, hot afternoon light, hell yeah. Invades the corridor, making the air feel heavy and lazy. My body feels weighed down by it as I drag in 2 doors. What? Oh, I drag it 2 doors down the hallway to the art classroom. Maybe this is part of the reason why I didn't join any clubs before. Afternoons just aren't suited for activity. Whoa, there's way more people than I thought there would be. I guess that's the blind guy. That's Rin. Am I gonna have to meet these other 3 people? I knock on the door of the art room and open it. A girl who was probably doing something important with the scroll of paper she's carrying turns to reckon me, and smiles in a sweet, if a bit confused manner. Hello? This is the art club, right? Yep, you interested in joining? Yeah, in fact, I might already have done so, but we'll see. I gave her a weak smile, and her own, what? Oh, and her own widens a notch, making me feel less nervous. Great, have a seat then. We'll start when the teacher gets here. Without even scouting the room for a good spot, I walked quickly to the back of the room and settled myself on a free seat, apart from everyone else. A few other members are lounging in their seats, waiting for the teacher. Rin sits alone in a window seat looking outside. She's the only person here that I know, although a guy I've never really gotten along with from my own class is here too. Nobody else comes to greet me, maybe introductions are left for later, so I just settle for silent observation as well. One boy has sunglasses on, an odd sight indoors. Were we not at Yamaku, I'd bet he's... Oh, were we not at Yamaku? I'll bet he's the blind student Rin was talking about. The wait proves to be extremely short. Nomiya walks over to stand behind his desk in 3 long strides, then gives a smile and a flamboyant greeting. Good afternoon, everyone. First things first, Sao there is a new member, so everyone get along with him. What? Whoa! Okay, I accidentally scrolled my mouse wheel. He winks at me unsettlingly. Ooh, yeah, that's creepy. All 8 members of the club, including myself, answer his greeting with considerably less enthusiasm. Still, people finally straighten up in their seats to begin to pay attention. I think some of you still have projects to work on, so please continue with those if you like. As for the rest, I was thinking that today we could do some rough studies. How does that sound? Nobody answers except with slight, unintelligible murmurs, which Nomiyama apparently interprets as unanimous approval. Alright then, everyone not working on other projects, choose a partner and draw a sketch of one another. You should be able to complete this today, but if not, we can continue it next time, or even do it again if you find it interesting. Remember to pay attention to lighting and shadow, and give it your best. Pairing up, I feel pretty awkward about it, hardly knowing anyone here. Wish someone would ask me to be their partner. People stand up and move their chairs closer together, but nobody comes to me. Pretty soon, everyone else is paired off. Friends team up with each other, but I'm left alone. Well, there is Rin. She's sitting in the furthest corner of the classroom, still staring out the window, and seemingly uninterested in taking part in the exercise. Since she's the only other one without a partner, I walk to her seat. I can't see her face because her hair is covering most of it, and she's looking away from me. Garbage baby. Maya waifu. What? Okay. I get... what? Hope you enjoy her chapter. Oh, you're saying Rin's your waifu? Respect. I call out to her, no response. I hope I enjoyed it too. It's my first proper route. I got the death ending before. Hey, you want to partner up? You're the only one I know here. She seems to finally acknowledge my presence, head turned like a robot as she looks to see who is addressing her. Rin doesn't answer, and I don't want to repeat the question either. I'm sure she heard it the first time. Why doesn't she say anything? It can't be such an awful fate to be paired up with me, can it? She doesn't look at my face and instead stares directly at my chest and stomach. Oh, okay, why not? Hell yeah, brother. Are you someone I know or a random? I can't tell. Okay, good, great. I'll get the stuff for us. Looking at the equipment Nomiya has prepared for today's meeting confuses me. Instead of graphite and pencils, we are apparently supposed to do ink sketches. I've never done anything like that before. The teacher, however, seems confident in my abilities to adapt to this medium. Simple. First you do the outlines in ink, you let them dry, and then you shade with the diluted ink. This is called, what? India ink. Works like watercolors. If you're uncomfortable with it, use a pen instead of a brush for the outlines. Got it. Pick up paper, water cups, 1 pen for me. Just love watching people play Cripple Girls. Hell yeah, man. Well, I seem to be the only one doing it recently, so... Welcome. Pick up paper, water cups, 1 pen for me. Might have just Oh, is it that bad? I was just talking about that earlier. I haven't disabled it. And Toast mentioned I might get banned. I guess I have to. It's that bad? I was gonna kind of wing it. I guess I have to, since I'm streaming. Daddy Twitch will ban me otherwise. One pen for me, one brush for Rin, and ink for both of us. Then return to Rin. There's usually one odd person here or there streaming it. Twitch ban, how am I gonna come for you? Yeah, it will, man. Is it that bad? I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Because on VNDB, it doesn't have any non-safe for work screenshots that you can turn on and off. So I thought like it just doesn't get bad. Or on the safe side, it's full frontal, and having a disable option doesn't give you much excuse. Okay, yeah, wow, full frontal? Damn, I'll have to look it up later then instead. I didn't want to miss it. That was the thing. I want to see it. Oh yeah, I'll just play it from the library. Sweet. I'll do that then. Grabbing a vacant chair from nearby, I seat myself directly opposite her. I need to remember I'm streaming now instead of on YouTube. On YouTube, I can just edit it later to cover it. Do you want me to do it with my foot or my mouth? What did you say? She tilts her head, her brows forming questioning arcs, as if she doesn't understand that I didn't understand the question. I don't mind drawing either way. You look better if I do it with my foot, though. With your foot, then, if it's all the same to you. Noting an answer, Rin gets up from her seat and kicks off her sandals. Two fluid motion, she picks up the paper sheet and drops it on the floor. Then, snatches the brush between her toes before sitting on the floor in a weird half-cross-legged position. Although I've seen her do everything with her feet already, from eating to painting, this display of dexterity is so prodigious? Wow, what a word to pull out there. That I just stare at her stunned. Prodigious. Rin's the best. How can other waifus compare? Rin's pretty good. I'd give her first or second place. I don't know where though. Emmy gives Rin a tough competition. Emmy can compete, but no one else can. I'll give you that. Rin's pretty good. Hey, Garbage Baby, thanks for the follow. Second to Kenji. Hell man, Kenji #1 waifu. I did get the Kenji ending first, unfortunately. Rin contemplates her blank paper intently, the sharp tip of her brush. Oh, did I say black or blank? I'm freaking out now. Blank paper intently. The sharp tip of her brush hovers over the paper in anticipation. Unfair comparison. Yeah, he doesn't count. He's like God tier. He's on another level. He doesn't, it's unfair for him to compete. When she raises her head to see if I'm ready, I quickly turn my face away. I'll go first to make a pose. What kind of a pose? It doesn't matter, that's the point. You have to make the sketch of the impression you get, not decide beforehand. End up just sitting in my chair, my hands hanging limply between my knees. I look at her and she looks at me for a moment before beginning. Rin's stare is piercing but impassive, as if she were trying to absorb a part of me into her own self. I feel like I'm physically shrinking under the pressure of her gaze. I get the feeling that for the first time since we met, Rin is actually looking at me, instead of in my general direction. She sketches with confident, bold sweeps of the delicate brush, not caring about the potentially destructive consequences of an accidentally misplaced stroke. After she's happy with the outline, she stands up to pose for me, stretching her back and legs. This time, she doesn't look at me. Instead, Rin lets her gaze wander around the room. I'm relieved. It's easier to stare at someone when they aren't staring back at you. Yeah, I always feel weird when if I get my picture drawn at like a theme park or something like that. There's like caricature artists. I always feel weird if I'm like staring at them. They keep looking at me and I'm just like, yeah, I'll look anywhere but at you. Even so, I find it hard to get the sketch going. I guess I'm not the one drawing in that case, but even when I'm the subject, it just feels weird to look at the person drawing me. It's not especially artistically I'm not especially artistically talented, so I'm scared my portrait will turn into something disfigured, especially when compared to my partner's skill. I don't want to embarrass myself too badly on the first try. Rin is not helping the process either. She doesn't stand still for even 10 seconds, tilting her head from side to side to judge her drawing, biting at her lower lip, looking unsatisfied and constantly shuffling around like she was on hot coals. Finally managed to make some headway on my sketch, and with my outlines done, we both start inking in the shadow and light. Am I gonna get to see my drawing? Nomiya passes by and remarks on the beginning of our sketches. Very good, standing figure is easier for a beginner to get a grasp of, but I didn't choose the pose. I look at him and then at Rin in confusion, but he's already moving on to the next pair, and Rin seems unresponsive. Just like when she was painting the mural, Rin has become so engrossed with her work that it seems she has shut me, the classroom, and the entire world itself out from her own little sphere of existence. Every now and then she leans backwards, seemingly to get some perspective. Sometimes she bends forwards, leaning down until her nose almost touches the paper. This rocking back and forth looks silly. Suddenly, Rin proves she hasn't completely drifted off into a world of her own and speaks. Are you having fun already? She doesn't raise her eyes from the drawing, which is a good thing. The breaking of the silence sends a jolt of surprise for me, as if I'd been electrocuted. I don't know yet. It's hard to say. I can't hear how she replies to my answer, because it seems she is suddenly having a private, whispering conversation with her sketch. I don't understand how she can draw so well when she has the attention span of a butterfly. As it seems, she lost her interest. I go back to work on my drawing as well. Try to add texture to Rin's hair, to somehow grasp the way the golden afternoon sun lights her bright red tussle aflame, and transfers it to my paper in shades of black and grey. Somehow, this pen and the bottle of ink seem like such lousy, inadequate tools for the task. Minutes pass, but the sketch doesn't magically look any more like Rin than it did before. Her voice wakes me from my despair. What about now? Excuse me? Are you having fun already? Why do you keep asking that? Because it's a club, right? Clubs are meant to be fun. You joined to have fun. Are you having fun? Is it important that I'm having fun? Yes. Okay, I'm having fun. Good. I wonder if I said that just to please her, or if I really meant it. I can't really decide which it was. I don't hate this, though. I can honestly say that much. It's good enough for now. As the allotted time to finish the studies quickly ticks away, I desperately try to improve my awful sketch, but it doesn't seem to get any better. I want to start again from scratch, but what would be the what would be the point? There's no time for that either. Okay, everyone, that's it for today. Please turn in the drawings on my desk, and I'll see you all next Monday. Oh, I do get to see it. Glance at my portrait. Doesn't exactly look like Rin. I guess you could say it betrays her, but that might be a bit generous. Yes, kinda, I guess. The fact that she doesn't have arms helps it be noticeable. The nose and jaw look ridiculous, and the shading is terrible. Granted, it's my first attempt at drawing with ink, but it's still pretty bad. That's not bad. Yeah, look, I'd probably draw way worse. I'm horrid. She sneaked up behind me while I was lost in thought. Damn it, I was hoping I could smuggle the portrait to the teacher without you seeing it. I've done stuff like that before. Not wanting people to see my work, so I quickly go up to the teacher and I quickly lift up some papers and slide my work in under them instead of placing it on top. No one sees it. Why? I'm not really happy with it. Wish I could draw better. You just need some practice. Could you take my drawing to the teacher too? Curious myself about how the sketch turned out, I peek at the picture. From the way Rin was drawing, it looked like she was really into it. Oh damn, yeah, that's good. The classic. The classic. Yeah, dude, classic maneuver. I'm a spy. It's excellent. Somehow the seemingly arbitrary strokes come together to form an image of my face, from the shape of my chin to the messy hair to the somewhat gloomy expression. The sketch blows my mind. Oh, can I save during a... I can. I've been forgetting to save during choices. Progress saved. Place paper upside down. Is that what you do, Toast? That sounds like something you'd do. You're amazing, and I wish I was as good as you. That feels like a envy bullshit thing to say. I'd should I act like myself? Acting like myself got me killed last time, but sure, let's do it. Wow, you're amazing. It's not that amazing, but thanks. Take a closer look at our work. It's still glistening with slowly drying ink. You know, I look kinda grim here. You do look kinda grim. I mean, I agree, but it's also true otherwise too. Like this you, not the you I made. I do? I think so, at least. A simple statement makes me suddenly feel incredibly self-conscious. I feel like I need a mirror right now to confirm or debunk Rin. It's a nasty feeling. Maybe it's just her. I hope it's just her, and that I don't look like that sketch to everyone. It's a good sketch, but somehow I get a really oppressive feeling from it. I see. Anyway, it looks really good. You really are amazing. Thanks. I'm glad I could draw you. You're an interesting person. You're an interesting person too, but that didn't help me much. My self-deprecation has no limits today, but Rin ignores it all. I knew that I could never compare, but to see the difference with my own eyes is quite humbling. See, I tried to make you look like you think a lot, since you did a lot of thinking. And yeah, I might have overdone the fed up with life expression, but cynics are like that, right? I wanted to retort something snappy, but Nomiya gives me no time to think, ushering us to the door. Yeah, tiny Rin smile. I like Rin's face when she smiles and has these chill eyes. It's a good look. Hurry up, you two. While we've been chatting, the rest of the club has taken their leave. I quickly pick up our drawings and take them to the teacher's desk before hurrying after Rin, who has already left the classroom. She's not in the hallway. Oh, music's gone? Okay. I need to get water quickly. I don't have a little stream thingy. I'll be back, but I'll be really fast just to refill my water. It's important to stay hydrated, y'all. Let me sort out my headphones. They're a goddamn mess. Okay, now I need to actually drink the water, so. Honestly, I'm not as good as hydrating myself when I'm not streaming, but my throat gets sore if I don't do it while streaming. At least it's a good excuse to keep me drinking water. She's not in the hallway, to my surprise. I wonder where she managed to run off to in just a few seconds. Would have been nice to talk more. Well, not that I had much to say, except maybe get back to her for calling me a cynic. It's surprisingly late. I already got used to the school ending at the same time every day, so I can feel the extra hours in my head and my gut. My growling stomach reminds me that I am absolutely ravenous. I'm so hungry that I dare to try anything that cafeteria staff has deemed edible. Even when I see today's delicacy, fried mushroom lumps, my steely resolve doesn't fade. I stuff the dinner down without tasting it at all, which is probably for the best. Is cafeteria food really that bad? I don't know. We don't really do cafeterias in Australia. I don't have much homework to do, but what little I have won't get done by itself, so I stroll towards the dormitories. Preparing for the post-homework lull, I knock on Kenji's door. Hell yeah, Kenji, we're out. Responds from the other side, although I can't make out what he said. I try the door, but it's locked. After several seconds, the locks click open, and he opens the door. Hi, hey, can I borrow a book? The library was already closed after I got away from my club meeting. He's squinting, even more than usual, and his eyebrows are twitching nervously. Club? That's dangerous, man. Indoctrination, group thinking, brainwashing, you name it. High school clubs sow the seeds of conspiracy. Do you know how many secret societies have grown from high school clubs? Watch your back and don't get too deep. Watch your back and don't get too deep in. You might not come back. Okay, Genji. So how about that book? Sure, but return them and don't spoil any of my books. No drink, no food stains, no bodily fluids. Capiche? Sure, thanks. Instead of letting me in, he retreats from the door, closing it again. After a few seconds, he returns with a stack of free thick books and hands them over to me. Opening the topmost one, a familiar emblem stamped on the copyright page greets me. Your books? These are from the school library. They are mine now. You stole these? What are you talking about, man? I've been liberating these from the oppressive feminist movement that controls the library. He's just stealing books. Mr. Uni image. Oh, right, yeah, they're, images are from Brown University somewhere in the US Northwest. I mean, I assumed it was the US. It definitely doesn't look like, not a Western culture place. But that's actually interesting to know. Not that I can, go visit, being an Australian. What are you talking about? Oh, wait, yeah. Liberating the oppressed books. Please say oppressive feminist movement doesn't mean that poor librarian girl Yuko. She couldn't even oppress a wet towel. That's right. Best girl Yuko. Kenji turns away, mumbling something I can't make out, and closes the door behind him. Before going to my own room, I enter the bathroom. While washing my hands, my eyes catch my reflection from the mirror above the sink. Hey, an actual CG this time, and not just a tilted sprite. I try to look for the grimness Rin saw in me, but it's just the usual me inside the mirror that stares back. I attempt to tell myself that this is what I've always looked like, but I realize I don't remember what I looked like half a year ago. Flashback? Oh no, it's just transition. I wake up all sweaty, as if I had run a half marathon in my sleep. Odd, I don't recall sleeping badly. Seems a little pang of worry through me. Oh, what? Sends a little pang of worry through me. Wouldn't want to have my heart acting up without being able to notice it. Still, apart from this odd exhaustion right after waking up, I'm feeling just fine. My mouth is like sandpaper, and I have nothing to drink, so I have to go all the way to the bathroom to take my meds. On impulse, I decide to take a shower while I'm at it. While I'm in the shower, I make up my mind that this counts as morning exercise. If I properly compensate with a nice half-hour walk after school, obviously I wouldn't want to risk possible complications by going running now. Besides, Emmy will never know, and I think she's given up on me in any case. Walking could be nice anyway, just to get to know the area. There's a big forest in the hills behind the school, or I could go down to the convenience store. While still dabbing the moisture off my skin, I set off to find my uniform. Quickly button on my shirt and pull on my pants before going outside. Normally, during this time of the year, I'd be eagerly awaiting summer vacation, having only been at school for a little over a week. I don't really have that kind of feeling. I'm still savoring the school life and considering the sharp and awkward turn my life has taken. I haven't had the time to become preoccupied with getting free of it. Besides, once vacations hit, it'd be a nice surprise for me if I'm not expecting it, especially with the end of the term exams looming ahead. At least I don't have any catching up to do with my studies. My diligence has finally paid off. Push myself past the boys gathering in the doorway and flop into my seat. From the corner of my eye, I can see Shizune and Misha pause their unavoidably animated conversation and turn almost simultaneously in my direction. Clearly want something from me. I can tell from the way Shizune smiles. It's too obnoxiously bright to be sincere and too calculated to be spontaneous. Good morning. A greeting is made of 100% cheer and bursting energy. Morning. I fail to put either of those into my response. You don't look very energetic. No wonder. I don't feel very energetic either. I think I didn't sleep well, but I'm not sure. She slaps me in the back and grins. Cheer up a bit. It's a great day. Oh man, hang on a sec. Alright. I catch Shizune's eye. She has a strange, focused expression on her face. But she furrows her brow a little at direct eye contact and looks away. For a moment, I think that Shizune caught a glimpse of my worries, somehow, and is pondering how to respond, but then she quickly straightens her glasses, and with them, her expression. Anyway, we were wondering if you're still interested in that student council position, because we're going to make an offer that you can't decline. Wait, what? I wasn't really interested in the first place. You're putting words in my mouth. Don't put WORDs in my MOUTH. Is that how mouth is spelled? I can't remember now. Not as such, but wouldn't it be nice to have to hang out with us every day while also being useful to your school? Well, to tell you the truth, I kind of joined a club, so it'd actually be sort of hard for me to join the council too, even if I wanted to, which I don't, as I said. Is that so? Which club is it, Ikchan? The art club. Oh yeah, Shizune doesn't like Rin. Shizune's eyes glint in a sinister way as she scolds at me with the way she looks. I'll be expecting the art club to lose its funding before lunch break, or the art teacher to mysteriously disappear from the face of the earth. Before she manages to comment, the teacher finally enters the classroom, getting Shizune and Misha off my back and sending everyone rummaging in their bags for books and pens. I did join the art club, but the first meeting didn't really boost my confidence. I'm not really sure what I'm doing it for. Wish I could draw like Rin, but I don't know what I would do if I could. To what end would I use such a skill? I don't really know. Whoa. Ignoring the teacher's sleep-inducing voice, I open my notebook to an empty page and press the needle-sharp graphite tip of the pencil onto it. What to draw? Can't really think of anything good to draw. As I hesitate and raise my hand, a meek black mark left on the previously blank page seems aggravated. I can't even seem to be getting to the starting line, let alone get started. It's almost a physical feeling of being held back. Annoyingly, it reminds me of my failed attempt at jogging with Emmy. I look out of the window in desperation. Right then, a small bird takes flight from one of the cherry trees that grow everywhere on the school ground. Is it? Yeah, it's slowly zooming in. I feel like I'm slowly becoming as lazy as Rin. That's probably what this route's gonna have happen to me. Can't really see it clearly, and it's not like I could tell one tiny bird from another, but I pick it up as my subject anyway. Conjuring up the image of a bird in my mind's eye, I turn my gaze back to the notebook and deliberately draw a thick line across the paper to get started. It seems to be mocking me as I can't follow up right away. Still, it's a start. Getting started is good. Giving me the lol. That's totally what's gonna happen then, isn't it? I slowly sketch the picture on the notebook page, the image in my brain becoming clearer as the drawing takes shape. It's really nothing, but that nameless nothing bird on paper. What? Oh, just that nameless nothing bird on paper. But that's not important. Hesitation fades into the background, along with the teacher's voice as I continue my struggle. The feathers form a simple pattern in my mind, but on paper it's a mess. Too many rough lines, despite my best effort. This actually looks really good though. Like, holy crap, those wings. I can't draw wings that good. I realize that I don't know what a bird's wings should look like, even if I try to think about it. I even put the pencil down and close my eyes for a moment, trying to trace the shape of a wing in my mind. Haven't played for the other routes. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but it's also my first one. Although I intend to eventually knock them all out. Being this serious about it all of a sudden makes me a little frustrated. Art class in middle school was the easy class in between exhausting subjects like math or Japanese. First aside from Kenji. Yeah, I did get the Kenji ending. But come on, that barely counts. That was just me failing to make anyone love me. But there's this other side to art, the one that you see when you don't just fool around. It's almost like a completely different thing. Dude, this is good. Look at that eye. The eye, the like extra feather details, the wings. What the hell? When he first started sketching, I'm like, okay, this is looking like my kind of drawing. Like, I can kind of get a basic shape when I sketch. But this is actually half decent. Heck-chan? I look up to see two girls staring back at me. Misha and Sujune have carried their chairs to my desk and are now standing by my side, looking at my drawing. Kenji Sao OTP. Hell yeah. The only true... I'm just doing these other endings for completeness sake, you know. The Kenji ending's the true ending forever. Misha and Shizune have carried their chairs to my desk and now standing by my side looking at my drawing. How long have you two been there? I think you need more practice. Shizune draws a few sharp signs in the air before herself and Misha. Chick-chan agrees, and said the exact same thing yesterday, but why did it sound less condescending? You shouldn't judge before I'm finished. Besides, don't you know it's bad luck to see an unfinished piece of work? Misha cracks in exuberant laughter. What? Don't be silly. There's no way that could be true. Whatever. Shizune's eyebrows furrow dangerously, and the movements of her hands become abrupt, like the slashing of a knife. The Kenji CG on them. Sharon, you're reading. Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for watching. I enjoy doing this. It's more fun reading out loud and having people talk than just reading it on my own. Only thing is, it takes a bit longer and is a bit more of a strain on my voice. Whoops. Oh no, that was just a... Yeah, I've only read 2, I think. Yeah, I only read 2 visual novels by myself. And I think it's more interesting to just do it out loud as a video or stream. You should learn to take constructive criticism better. I would if you'd actually offer some. I know I'm getting too defensive and that Shizune is taking advantage of it, but I can't help it. What are you two doing here anyway? It's getting kind of hot. Should I turn the heater off? I'll only go for another hour anyway. Misha wags her finger admonishingly at my nose. Tisk, Kik-chan. Were you not listening to the teacher at all? Oh no, now I'm in trouble. You have a group assignment now. I nod obliquely and let them take the lead. So, what do you think of the lesson for today? Not much of anything. I didn't listen to a word of it. Misha slaps her forehead and shakes her head theoretically. Wait, no. I don't know. What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do with you, Hikchan? Luckily, Shizune and Misha together are more effective than 3 or 4 normal people, so I can mostly slack on the assignment. Oh man, I'm that guy. I'm the guy that doesn't do any work. I try my best to offer at least some assistance, but I end up being mostly useless. The teacher keeps us in class 5 minutes past the lunch bell, but eventually lets us off the hook. Quickly stuff my books into my bag while Shizune and Misha carry their chairs back to their own seats. The failure of a bird drawing... What? Oh, the failure of a bird drawing ends up crumpled and stuffed into my pockets as I hurry outside. Oh. It was just class. You're the guy who has the valedictorian hanging off him? What? What does that mean? What in the world? Are you confusing my accent with some kind of weird personality I don't have? After that morning class and throughout the week, I keep bumping into Rin. Hello. Whoa, it's been a while since we got texts like this. This is somewhat natural as our classrooms are adjacent, but rather than just cross paths in the hallway like people regularly do, we seem to pause at the side of each other. Top graded students. So wait, are you saying I was with the valedictorian and they're hanging off me? Or that I was? Or are you just making a joke because the sow was lazing off? I think I've misinterpreted everything you've said, god damn it. We invariably end up talking a little bit or just silently hanging out together. I think I'm getting used to being quiet in Rin's company, as it doesn't feel as awkward anymore. I am, by nature, somewhat introverted like her, so we fit together well. I think it's actually an anomaly for someone in the school to be so quiet. Most people here seem to love socializing. It's something that I've noticed already, even though I haven't been here very long. People here talk a lot, and they talk all the time. It's a rare case when I see someone sitting alone, just spacing out or whatever. Obviously there are people like that here too. That Hanako girl and myself, just to name 2 from my own class, but overall they are a minority. That's true. OCD valedictorian type. Yeah, she isn't as, like, crazy, like, top of the class type girl. At any rate, I wouldn't exactly call what Rin and I do socializing either, but it's something at least. I guess. You can communicate without talking. I don't know if that constitutes as socializing. These occurrences themselves don't bother me, but the fact that they happen at all does. I'd hesitate to say that we are drawn together by something, but we certainly act as if we were. However, this sense of budding friendship is completely wrecking every time Rin... What? Oh, it's completely wrecked every time Rin opens her mouth. Can I listen to your heartbeat? Whoa. She says this or something else about as outrageous, and I have to fend off whatever nonsense her mind has cooked up during the preceding class of a subject that she's not interested in. It seems Rin has taken a shine to my heart condition as some kind of an extension of her interest in the odder disabilities that people have here, and the consequences of said afflictions. As I stand in front of her for a second too long, looking as... what? Flummoxed? Is that flummoxed? I've never seen that word before. Is it just like flabbergasted? What the hell? Why would you use such a weird word? Flummoxed as I am, she concludes it is necessary to further clarify her request. I know I can, but I mean, will you let me? Why? Do I need a reason? I'm usually pretty bad with reasons. That's true, she is. Not per se, but if you want to do it, you probably do have a reason. That's kind of clever. You are smarter than you look. Also, I'd rather you not. I think these things should be private. Yeah, Rin has some fun, and and interesting dialogue. She's enjoyable to read. I think these things should be private. I get it. I can tell you something though. If it amuses you, I'm pretty sure it will. My heartbeat does sound very weird because of the, you know, condition. And I hear it all the time. So you're paranoid? It's not a question, it's a statement. No, I'm not paranoid. The doctor said that abnormal attention to heartbeat is a common symptom of my condition. So for you, it's normal to be paranoid? It's not a question either. One could also say that me being like this is the first place, one could say that me being like this in the first place isn't normal either, but what the heck. Paranoia fits me fine. I don't think it's something that can actually fit anyone or anywhere. You know, I ate an orange today for breakfast. How was it? I'm vaguely proud of myself for managing to keep up with Rin's sudden change of topic. Excellent. I don't remember when I last ate an orange, because it's annoying to peel one. It's on the list of things I want to learn properly. How come you ate one then? Emmy had some, so she peeled one for me. Good for you. Oh, that's right, they're roommates, I think. Rin stretched her back and yawns, and says nothing further. She throws me a glance from the corner of her eye while she watches people pass by, but I couldn't say why. I realize, though, that this is the first time I've talked naturally about my condition with anyone, in a way. A group of boys walk past us to Rin's classroom, but she doesn't pay them any mind. They pay none to me, to her either. My mind wanders off, spurred by the silence. Maybe I should have let her listen to my heart. It's not like it matters. Nothing really matters that much at the end of the day. We get nihilism. I start feeling depressed for no reason. Again, it's like a tidal wave out of nowhere, rolling over my consciousness, submerging me underwater. I feel a sigh coming out of my